Hey guys, all right, so today we're going to be learning a little bit about the way to start up your Condor XC. When you guys are looking at your Condor XC, on the left side here there's a red button. You're going to go ahead and turn that clockwise, and it's going to start up your Condor. What you'll see the tray do is just kind of tilt to the left and then go right back. From that point on, now that you know how to turn that on, that's also the way you turn it off. What you're going to do is you're going to turn it counterclockwise and at the same time push it in counterclockwise. So once it's pushed in and it's counterclockwise, you see how it is now off. Okay. All right. So that is the on and that is the off. So now I'm going to turn it clockwise and wait for it to pop out. There you go. All right, and you see the tray here moving, and it sets back to a starting point. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about is now how to enter a key code. Okay, so we're going to go to this little icon up here. It's called Key Database. We're going to go there, and it is a touch screen, guys. All right, so now it's going to ask you for the maker. Depending on the maker or dealership you are, that's the one obviously you're going to choose. I'm going to go to Hyundai. And you can see Hyundai down here at the bottom. You could also scroll if you like. You see there's obviously icons for the arrow up and down, or you can just actually touch. You can touch these buttons on the outside here, or actually the screen as well, either one. So I'll show you here. Go ahead there. Now it's going to ask you for an input, a key input. So this is where your key codes are going to be. A lot of times they'll kind of give you little hints, like what to look for. What areas to, if there's a whole bunch of code numbers, what areas to really focus on. As an example here, it says M1877. There's also other hints as well. So what you see here is you see a series of hints right there, and then you can go down here and then go get another hint. And that's another key code. It would be like all these numbers or letters or characters here, and then your K1762 would be in that red area there. That's what they're trying to explain. So for the people that, maybe are getting key codes and maybe they don't know where to really look for it, there it is right there, okay? So you would enter the key code and you would input it using this touchpad here. As soon as you're done, you'd confirm. So we're going to go ahead and just press K1762 like the one it gives us there for an example. Enter. All right, so I see here that it's a 6-cut. It looks like it's a high security key. So I'm going to go ahead and press confirm. And that is the high security key. That is it'll tell me here, an HY22, okay? So that's your double-sided high security key. It's pretty common for your Hyundais, and those are the key cuts. The cool thing too is it kind of gives you all the details. It lets you know what jaw you're supposed to use or put on. Like this is not the correct jaw for this one, so I already know I have to take this jaw off. So it's asking for an M2A. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up that M2A. All right, guys. So as you guys can see where we left off, we're going to change the jaw. Okay, so I'm going to change the jaw. The reason why is because, again, we're going to cut a high security key. So this cutter or this jaw here is for high security. It's called M2A, or it should say just M2. And then I'll talk about the A in a second here. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip this quick release, slide it out, put it to the side here, and get this other one on there. And this is a jaw M2. It just slides right on. Okay. You go ahead and tie it down with a quick release. And then, like I said, okay, so it's M2. But as you see here on the jaw, you can open up the jaw and you can turn it, okay? So that's side B, side A, and there's obviously a C and a D, okay? But today, our screen here is asking for M2A, okay? So M2A, that's side A. So I'm gonna put it right onto side A, right? And remember, we're cutting the key by code. So I'm going to go ahead and put the key in, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it exactly like it says. If you look here, it shows you the key, and with that little yellow arrow, it tells you where to place that key exactly. So it tells us to place it on the right side on the last line. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that looks like it's going to be like right there. So I'm going to go ahead and place it there. All right, so as you can see, I lined it up right on the line. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's there, okay? So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure, again, everything's nice and clear. You already wiped down the probe and the cutter, and we're gonna come back to the screen. Sometimes it times out. Okay, so there it is, it's back on. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead to go to cut, okay? So we're gonna go to cut, and it's gonna check it. It's gonna check to make sure that you lined it up like it's supposed to. And well, first it's calibrating, make sure it's lined up like it's supposed to be. Now it's just checking the key and then the height of the key. And it should get started on the cut. I always like to put down the visor just so that we don't get any key shavings on the outside. But, and it just kind of just does it on its own at that point. So what you'll have to do when you're done is you're gonna definitely have to obviously wipe it down, you know, with a bristle brush, get all that excess metal off, the key I mean. And then you're gonna obviously wipe down the jaw again, make sure there's no debris on there. So that way when it does the other side, it can still kind of do its little test. And again, you just don't wanna break a probe or anything like that. I've had these machines for the last couple of years and I've yet to break a probe. So it's definitely something you can definitely do, but then I also have friends that like to break them because they don't wipe them down. So, but yeah, so that's it, cutting. And then I'll show you what we do right at the end here, okay? All right, it's all done. So what I'm gonna do now is just open it up. Go ahead and remove the key. So make sure you guys obviously, I know that a lot of the flip keys, you know, you obviously drop it in the blade. Maybe you want to do that after you cut the key. Don't do that before, just because you want to be able to close that. So I like to wipe it off again. Make sure there's no debris on there, nice and clean. Just wipe up the blade real quick, maybe once before you start. Maybe not as much as I just did, but I was just showing you guys how, okay? So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and put it back the other side because we just cut one side. Now you gotta cut the other side, okay? So again, place it right on that line and so make sure it's just right on that line, okay? All right. And then you're gonna come back up here. You're just gonna press cut. And it's going to start checking itself again, making sure it is lined up correctly. It'll let you know, and if you hear that beep, those are contacts. Yep. All right, and close the lid. And then we're all set. Okay, so again, we're gonna go ahead and open it, wipe it down, and that's pretty much how you make a key by code, guys. You're all set. I'm gonna go ahead and just brush this off with like a wire brush to kind of get any access off. That would be what I recommend for key codes. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys leave me a comment. You guys also have my tech support number, so give me a call, all right? All right, guys, this is Alex again with All Cars Key Programming and All Cars Key Machines.